Yeah, you'll need it when you shop with the French, because they're not your friends. Yeah, I've never been to a country where you are truly on your own when you're shopping. Like, you walk into a store, nobody helps you, nothing. You don't know who works there, you don't know who's doing anything. Literally, it's like undercover employee. You're just walking around. It's like 20 minutes, nobody helped me. And then finally I started picking my own clothes. And then I heard like an annoyed voice behind me. It was like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Hi, yes, I need to get a few clothes, please. My luggage was lost." And then Detroit, I got roasted more than I've ever been roasted in my life. Ever. I got roasted. Everything I chose came with a scathing review. I was like, "Yeah, could I please get this in a medium?" He's like, "Medium? No, you mean large or extra large, no?" "Yeah, no, this one is the medium for your body. I don't think so, no?" I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He's like, "No, yeah, I think you are large, extra. I can bring that one for you, okay? Medium is too much for the shirt, okay?" I'm like, "What?" Yo, everything. There's a point where there's a jacket I wanted to buy. I was like, "Yeah, could I get this?" He's like, "Oh, no, this one for your skin tone is not great. No, you have to think about what is complementary for the colors inside the fabric and also inside your face, okay? This one is not the best." I was like, "Yo, I already own something like this." He said, "And you are wearing it?" "Well, not anymore." He's like, "No, you can wear it if you want. No, c'est tranquille, go ahead. I was like, "No, you threatened me now." They you know what, it's just different. A friend said to me, was like, "Dude, the French are assholes, right?" I was like, "No, I don't think that they're assholes. I think they're just very honest." Right? And a lot of the time, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. Because one day I was speaking to a French woman, and I worked up the courage to ask her. I said, "Hey, why are the French like this?" And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Like when you're in like a store, they seem very mean." She's like, "Oh no, they are not being mean, they are just being themselves, no? Maybe because you are used to coming in a country where people are, they are so afraid that you're not going to tip them, that, they are all on top of you. Can I help you? Can I help you?" But in France, we are making sure that everybody is getting like a good salary, a good wage. So we are not, so stressed about that, huh? In America, it's like, "Oh, the customer is king, But in France, you know what we do to kings. So, it's not the same here. To the show. Thank you so much for coming out. Look at this. What a night. What a feeling. Here we are, Detroit, Michigan. We made it. I've really been enjoying it. I'm enjoying everywhere, to be honest. I'm having more fun in my life now than I think I've ever had. I'm enjoying America more now than I've ever enjoyed it. Every day. I don't even know what it is. I think, I think it's, you enjoy a place differently when it might be ending, It just has like a different feeling to it. It's just like, what does that taste? The final season? Because you never know with America. You really never know. Every day is the best day and possibly the last day. I'm having an amazing time. I truly am. This year was such a blessing because I got to travel around the world doing shows in places I'd never performed before, places I've always wanted to do comedy. I've always Detroit, when people are like, "Oh, watch out, Detroit, watch out, Detroit." Like people were like that with Germany as well. Like when I was going to Berlin, people were like, "Dude, Germany? Do they laugh?" I'm like, "What do you mean? They're human beings." Like, "I don't know, man. Do they laugh?" People got to me. There was a point when I was heading to Germany where I was like, maybe Germans just sit in the audience like, yeah, that was a comedy show. But they don't. They laugh. They're actually great audiences. I had an amazing time in Berlin. It's a city that sneaks up on you because it's so culturally diverse. It has a burgeoning art scene. Fantastic music. The history in Berlin is truly deep and rich. I love traveling and seeing places whenever I'm in certain cities, and in Berlin, I went out with like a tour group, and I had a great time, but I wish someone had warned me how painful a lot of like Berlin's history is. Because that was basically the headquarters of the Nazi party. So like everything ties back to Hitler. I didn't know this. I thought we were going on like a cute little tour. I ask a lot of questions. I'm curious. This brought the mood down. And we're out and about. The tour guide was doing his shtick. He was happy as well. He was like, you know, here behind me you can see this is one of the largest airports that was ever built in the world. Yeah, it is a world famous airport here in Berlin, and it is so large that they filmed the Hollywood movie, The Hunger Games, inside this airport. Yeah? Any questions? And I was like, yeah, wow, how old is this thing? He's like, this is almost 100 years old. I'm like, damn, and like, who built it? Yeah, that is the unfortunate part of the story. This airport was built by Hitler. I could see I'd messed things up. I tried to bring the mood up. I was like, which Hitler? He's like, which Hitler? Which other Hitler is there? I was like, could be Henry Hitler. Henry Hitler? Who the hell is Henry Hitler? I was like, you don't know Henry Hitler? It didn't work. Like, yo, man. It was tense, but it was good. I've ever been to in my life. I fell in love 1,000 times. I was by myself, it didn't matter. Yeah. Every night it was just me and those bed bugs, baby. I really enjoyed Paris because, you know, I got to meet Parisians in person. You know, not stereotypes, not things that you're told about them. No, actually meet French people, learn about them from them. And I learned some truly amazing things. For instance, the French have a very different relationship with work than the rest of us, all right? In that they don't give a shit about it. Which honestly I found inspiring. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us have become a little too attached to our work, you know? We identify with our work. Have you ever asked somebody just randomly, be like, hey, tell me about yourself? And they'll be like, well, I'm an architect. And tell me about yourself. Well, you know, I own a hair salon. And tell me about yourself. Well, I'm a teacher. And tell me about yourself. And people will tell you about what they do. You know, it's become the thing that people focus on. The French don't do that. No. You'll never meet a French person who does that. You go up to a French person, you'll be like, excuse me, what do you do? Be like, oh, me, I go for walks with my friends, and, you know, I like to, you know, eat good food, and you're like, no, what do you do for a living? It's like, for a living, pardon, okay, for a living, okay, no, I breathe, and, you know, I drink water, and, you know, of course I have to make love, you know, White people don't, like, love museums. Like, what are you even talking about? Like museums aren't even in the top 5 things white people love, okay? He said it with such confidence and with such conviction. I was like, what is the top 5? Because what a strange phrase. He was like, that's not even in the top 5. Like, in his bedroom, he has a list on the wall of the top 10 things. It was amazing. I thought about it and I was like, no, it is. I stick with my decision. Museums would be. Because no, it's not even a bad thing. White people love museums. Like, a lot of people enjoy museums, but white people love museums. Love museums. There's not a single place on earth where white people have settled and not built a museum. It doesn't matter. White people love museums. Have you ever seen white people in a museum? Have you ever seen them? They just walk around smiling with their hands behind their back. Yep, that was us. And that was us too. It's been a good run. White people love museums. What are you talking about? It would easily be in the top. I wouldn't put it at number 1, but it would be in the top 5. You know? Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, if I was to have a top 5 things white people love, I'd put museums at number 5. At number 4, I'd put swimming. Right? Because white people love swimming. And there's nothing wrong with that. Have you seen white people swim? Like, you look stunning. Stunning. Because whenever white people swim, you do that thing with your hair, you come out of the water, just like... and it just goes perfectly back like a duck. I would love swimming too. White people love swimming. White people love swimming so much that they made it that you can win more medals at the Olympics swimming than any other discipline. Yeah, that's how much white people love swimming. I realized this the one day. There was an argument going on about who the greatest Olympian of all time is. Right? And the final two was Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt. And then one of the arguments was, well, Michael Phelps is better because he has more medals. And I was like, yeah, because he cheated. Yeah, he won them swimming. I'm not saying Michael Phelps is not a great Olympian. I'm just saying you can't count the medals in the argument, right? Because in swimming, it's the only discipline where you win more medals for doing the same thing in a slightly less efficient manner. It makes no sense. Think about it. They'll be there. It's like 100-meter freestyle. Bam. Done. Gold medal. Yeah. And now this. Another medal. Yeah. And this one? Another medal. But what about this one? Another medal. That's some bullshit. I don't care what anyone says. You can't win more medals. Usain Bolt doesn't have that luxury. When Usain Bolt runs, it's the 100-meter and it's done. Ready, mark, set, pa, run, 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 get to the end, win, gold medal. That's it. Yeah, he doesn't get to turn around and be like, that was an amazing race and now I'm going to do it butterfly style. It's not a thing. I mean, it should be, but it's not. White people love swimming, so they made that the rule. I get it. It would have to be. It would have to be, yeah. That would be my top 5 things. I'll go museums at number 5, swimming at number 4. Number 3, being flabbergasted. White people love being flabbergasted. Come on. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you ever seen when a white person's having like a bad day, something's gone wrong, and they always do that thing with their face, they just get flabbergasted, it's like, oh. White people love being flabbergasted. You'll see it in supermarkets all the time. There's like a long line, right? Like only one cashier is open. Everyone's standing there patiently. There'll always be one white person who pops out like... Why don't they open the other... Are you serious? Why don't they... Are you... The only thing white people love more than being flabbergasted is finding another white person to flabbergast with. Have you seen that? Yo, whenever that happens, magic. It is absolute magic. A white person will be flabbergasting. They'll look, they'll make eye contact with another white person, and then they'll flabbergast together. It's like they Voltron their flabbergasting into a super flabbergast. You see them look over and just be like, oh, are you seeing it? I know. And that's one of the keys to flabbergasting I've learned. You have to exhale. You have to let it all out. Life is so hard that the air has to leave your body. You can no longer even breathe. That's why there's so many tornadoes in the Midwest. It's just white people flabbergasting. It's like... White people love being flabbergasted. Has to be. Top 5. That would be my list. Top 5 things white people love. I go museums at number 5. All right, swimming at number 4. Being flabbergasted at number 3. Number 2, being white. It's a pretty sweet gig. I don't blame you. And then there's number 1. And look, this is my personal list. I'm not dictating anything. If you don't agree, make your own, right? It's personal preference. But there is one